Welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast. My name is Ian Ray, your host for today. And today I have Carisa Marie Gaylardo. Carisa, welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, as I always start off with, I'd love to have the audience kind of learn more about who you are, where you're located, and then how long you've been doing this. So, go ahead.
So I'm from Long Island, New York. My business is called The Bodyologist. I founded it 5 years ago. I've been in the industry for 15 years and in health and wellness, and I opened my own business just right before COVID. And I've been in a few different locations, just renting out offices and within gyms. And about 2 years ago, I opened my own studio in Mineola, New York, on Long Island. And I do training and stretch therapy.
Cool. So how long, I guess, what got you into the health and fitness industry?
So I started as a phys ed and health teacher. I went to school for exercise science. I went to Portland. I was a college athlete. So I've been around health and wellness my whole life. It's always been something that I've resonated with and my go-to. And I've always wanted to help people. And I was like, how can I do that? And the first thing, everyone tells you is go be a teacher. They have the best schedules. What do you love? And I loved health and fitness. So I went in to be a phys ed teacher. And I did that for about 10 years. And as I taught phys ed, you always have to coach. So I coached volleyball, softball, soccer. And I loved learning about the body and movement and how to always get my athletes to the next level. So I basically started in that field in education. And then probably over the past 15 years, I started working after school in gyms and doing a lot of strength and conditioning programs, and then finding that recovery was where it was at and how to get my clients and my athletes to the next level. And I actually transitioned my career out of education and went into fitness in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so you went to Portland for college.
Yeah.
Phys ed, and then you moved back to New York.
Yeah. So I lived upstate. I lived in New Paltz for about 2 years, coached and taught up there, and then I started working in the city right after that. So while I worked in the city as a phys ed teacher, I was still coaching after school programs. I then started working for private gyms. I worked only with either athletes or females. So I would go into homes and train women. And then I worked for a physical therapy studio. And throughout that time, I started to learn more and more about the body and how just even movement for me, it makes me feel better. And just I saw how it made people feel better and the effects of that. So I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. And then I fully moved into fitness. I went to a gym in New Hyde Park, the UFC gym, in 2013, and I changed careers fully. And I was like, wow, this is what I want to do.
And I know you did some kind of bodybuilding competition, maybe?
Yeah. I actually started that journey while I was a teacher, and I could never find time because you really have to be in the gym all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Your life revolves around your eating schedule, your workouts, you're working out in the morning, you're doing cardio, then you're training at night. I had to move clients around. I had to give clients away. And while I was coaching and teaching, it was not possible. So I finally do my bodybuilding competition in 2016.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. It's I went down that realm when I was in college too, but then I just saw how much preparation and how much work goes into it, and I was like, I don't think I can do it. It is too much. And on top of a full-time job, it has to be your full-time job. You have to have some kind of a online business, and that's why I see a lot of bodybuilders they can't work a physical job. It's very hard, and that's why. So yeah, props.
It was very difficult. And that's actually what brought me into learning about stretch therapy.
Oh, okay. So that goes to my next question. How did you hear about Stretch to Win?
So when I worked at the UFC gym, I was, working out, I was working from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you know how the grind is in the gym. And one day, a couple came in from Hawaii and I think they were from another UFC in Hawaii, and they got certified and they started doing this like table work with some of the trainers, and it was both of them on one trainer. And I was like, this is really cool. I've never seen this. Growing up in sports and going to the athletic trainers and massage therapists, I never saw something like this. And I was like, this is very cool and unique, and I'll have to go try that. I didn't get to try it. About a couple weeks later, a few of my coworkers went and got certified, and they came back and they did it on me. And I was like, wow, this is something I've never felt before. And the amount of work I do and how much I put into training and how it's taxing on your body. So now you're getting on the table and you're like releasing everything. And I've never felt that way. So I was like, okay, there's something to this. And I loved it. And I felt like this euphoric feeling as soon as I got up. I was like, I have to go get certified because I need to show this to my clients. And I went and got certified probably in 2016, a couple months later. And I looked online and, there was a whole website and, sometimes you do a certification, you're like, okay, you could use it or not. But I immediately started to apply it when I got home and everyone loved it.
Did you have any initial thoughts like enrolling in the Stretch to Win course, like any hesitancy about the FSC course, or were you kind of like sold?
And I was into like my whole thing, what motivates me is learning a new technique that I believe in and that I know like is effective was something that I was like, you know what, even if I go to this course for a week and I learn a little bit and I could use it, even if I use it for 3 months, it's still worth it for me. Because I had my master's degree in phys ed and I always wanted to go back. I thought I wanted to do my PhD and I was like, I just want to keep going. I was going to go to massage school, but my managers were like, you don't have to do that. Just go get certified in something. So no, I actually had no hesitancy of like reservations of like, oh, this is too much money. Oh, I don't want to travel to Toronto. That's where I went for the first time. I was just motivated to go and feel good.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I went to Toronto too for my level 1. So it just made sense. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I can drive there instead of having to fly all over to the West Coast.
Exactly. And I got two of my coworkers came with me and it was a great experience. We split the room and, you're just like, you go for that experience and it was worth it.
As far as like the demographics, I know you kind of mentioned like you work with athletes, you work with women, and now that you have this place, the Home Free Fitness, right? That's where you work out of.
Yep.
Who are the demographic populations that you typically work with?
So I started with, like I said, only athletes and females. And then when I started working at the UFC gym, started to get more like, I would say professionals that are invested in their health and wellness, and people that also go hard in the gym, that also go hard at work and have either really good jobs or they're cops, firefighters, civil service workers, nurses, and they know that this is going to help them get back into the gym the next day and feel better and recover. I basically kind of developed my business going toward that population. Just the people that at first could afford to spend the extra money on their health and wellness. In the beginning, it was like, oh, come 3 days a week. And they're like, no problem. And then it just became like, no, this is a necessity for us. Mm-hmm. And now it's more mainstream to have a personal trainer and have a stretch therapist that will help us with getting to the next level. And even then it became like golfers and tennis players, and then word of mouth. My friend at the golf club wants a stretch therapist. Oh, my tennis friend wants a stretch therapist. So it just evolved to more and more of a demographic of everyone, actually.
That's great. So right now, currently with your business, is it just straight referrals? Do you do any type of like advertising or to grow new clients?
I would say majority of my business is referrals, 90%. Like my client, I don't even do a referral program, which I should. I've worked with marketing people and marketing agencies that are like, oh, refer a friend, do that. And I'm like, they're already referring their friends. To have it organically happen is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Your clients, to deliver a service where your clients could talk about it to other people, and then you have a phone call waiting, oh, I want to get in with you. And I think I've been fortunate enough for that. And even working with other professionals, like I work with the gym owner here at Home Free, Andrew. He has majority of young professional women clients, mostly women, and he refers me for stretching. And I have another friend that does an electric body, Rocco. He's a guy in Glen Head that always refers his clients to me. So just making connections with other business owners has also been a really great resource for me.
So I guess to figure out, you're from Long Island, so you have a network there that you've built already currently?
Yes.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome, because I've only lived here in Maryland for about a year, so I'm still kind of in the process of working with business owners. But I always felt like working in your home state, if you're from there, it's so much easier to gain that, trust. But if you're like an outsider just coming in, like, you need to build that relationship, the trust from the ground up. So
yes,
it takes a lot more work.
Yeah, and I go to like a bunch of different gyms. I'll pop in to like a Barry's boot camp, or a personal owned gym in Floral Park, or a gym, like a small business in Oceanside. And I've done pop-ups at all of these places, but I've also worked out there and made that connection with the business owner. And, it's nice because they'll throw you a free class, or they'll say, oh, come and join because we want you a part of the community. I've gotten clients from that as well. And I don't even promote myself. People are like, oh, I'll follow you on Instagram. Oh, you do stretching? Okay, I want to come see you. So it's like, that's always been really nice as well.
I guess, do you have any success stories or wins that you've had of people who have gone onto the table and got the benefits of fascia stretch therapy?
Yeah, I think there's so many success stories, and I think every case is different. I have clients that were afraid of working out and they wanted me to train them, but they never had a good trainer. They never had a trainer that could look at them and not put them through a workout that's going to kill them where they can't walk the next day. They've never had someone that has really broken down their movement patterns. And you get them on the table and you start to like see different things, and then you have them stand up and you have them move. And I've had clients that have never worked out a day in their life also that get on the table and start stretching, and then they're like, wait, we have the confidence now that we want to start working out with you. I remember about right before COVID, I had a client, she's a doctor, and she has an autoimmune disease, and she was very she was very apprehensive about coming and training, but she was a referral from her doctor. So I was like, listen, we don't have to train. I'll come to you. We'll do a half-hour stretch and we'll do some TRX movements and we'll just go slow. 5 years later, she's still with me, and now I train her and her husband together, and her daughter, and she's moving, and we stretch now for 15 minutes, maybe. And now she's actually like all about the training, joined Lifetime, feels amazing, and has more balance and just feels better in her body. And that's someone I could think of right off the top of my head.
Do you have to explain what you do as a fascia stretch therapist? Or do people have to be educated of the word fascia?
So now I feel like fascia is the biggest buzzword. And I even took yoga last year, my yoga certification last year, and they're now incorporating that in the yoga cert, which they never did, I was told. But yeah, I think when I started this in 2016, there was only like 3 or 4 of us doing it. And people were just like, oh, we want to just do it because we hear about it. And then I went to Lifetime. I was the only stretch therapist there in 2018. And yeah, I did. I said to my managers, can I talk about this? They're like, no, we don't talk about it. We don't advertise, but we'll just send them to you and you just show them. And that's also what they tell you at Stretch to Win. Just get them on the table and let them feel it. And it's hard to market this on social now that it's like, the stretch labs are popping up,
Stretch Zone.
And, do we all stretch the same? No. So I do tell them a little bit about what I do and how fascia works. And then I say, let's just try it and see how you feel. And they trust you, I think. They trust you because you were recommended by someone they trust.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's
you've had the same experience.
yeah, I think it's well here in Maryland, like I see more stretch labs, stretch zones, so small boutique studios, but there's a lot of people just here locally in Maryland who are getting certified through people who do stretch therapy, but not fascia stretch. And I
Yeah.
think what holds, I'm not putting down any other, but like what holds Stretch to Win above any other is because the work that Chris and Ann have done for the past 30 years. They've made this a household name in the fascia research study. They've written books. They've worked with NFL athletes. They work with NFL teams. I mean, like, how can you not see their work, into the general public? Like, people who are in the professional world, they've experienced it, and so that's where I'm like, the certification I've got, it holds above any other stretch therapy courses out there, hands down.
Yeah.
Because of the work and because of how it's a scientific based approach that's, gentle, passive, but at the same time, it's effective, super effective.
Yes. It's interesting. If I have clients that go and talk about this, they'll talk to their friends that have stretch therapists, or they'll be at a club and they're like, oh, we have someone. And then my clients are like, oh, are they certified in FST? So my clients know that it's above rest.
Yeah.
Do they have stretch? Because the way that we talk about it
mm-hmm.
and how they feel when they're done.
Yeah. I think there's a lot more work to be done, of course, just in general, but there are some people I've recently have interviewed and talked to that have been doing this since 2011 here in Maryland. So I know what they've done. There just needs to be more people on the table to understand what FSC is and how it's different from these stretch therapy courses or stretch boutiques.
I agree. They're coming up all over Instagram, and even friends will reach out. Can you teach me this? And I'm like, just go spend the money. Just go spend the week. I could show you. I could help you. Oh, should I do this one online? I'm like, I don't know anything about that, but I would recommend you going to Stretch to Win.
Yeah. Do you have, to piggyback on that, what do you say to someone who's on the fence about, enrolling with the Stretch to Win course?
So I've tried in the past to really sit down and, why don't you come in? I'll show you a little bit about what I do, and they'll do a session with me, and then they're like, well, can I be your apprentice, or can I intern with you? And that never pans out. And I also recommend them the NASM course, because I think Chris and Ann have worked with NASM to do the online course. You've told us that's a really good prerequisite if you want to hire someone and have them have a little bit of knowledge on touch and fascia and mobility, and then send them to us. And the person has to be serious about it, because I've met with like 5 or 6 people, and I met with about like 8 or 9, and 5 or 6 people have gone, and now they're doing their own business. They're working at Lifetime. They are using it at country clubs. So they'll do one stretch with me and they see what I do and they're like, all right, we're going. And I've sent like 5 or 6 trainers to Stretch to Win. And it's kind of amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah. Cause I know the certification you're talking about, the NASM, the stretch and flexibility coach. That's what I got. That's how I got started. So it's funny.
I remember when over COVID, they were talking about doing something, and they were going to open up a studio, they thought, in New York, but then the pandemic happened, and right after level 3, they started doing that online course. And it's a lot of work. I actually have gone through that because I had an intern doing it with me, and I'm like, wow, they put a lot of information in this, because you're not going in person. You have to be thorough. I mean, yeah. So I'm always like, just go, it's worth it. And if you want to come back and work with me, great. And people end up doing their own thing after that, which is also it's motivating and empowering. And it's nice to see that they could take this and have a whole business out of it.
Yeah. And, I'm sure what you're doing with, your services with personal fitness, FST, and I know you do Stroga, right, on Sundays. Yeah. So it's awesome that you have these different services, different modalities to help with your clients. So
yeah. I tell them it's great to have one-on-one on the table once to twice a week. If you could do it every day, if you have that, schedule and I guess even the disposable income to spend on yourself and the time. And some people take advantage of it and some people are like, no, we'll come once a week and we'll do your mobility class and we'll train with you. And they make a whole package out of it. You need that because you have to make sure you're consistent, because I could do all the work, but then the next week you come back to me, I'm sure you see it with your client, they're tight again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's always like in personal training, like what are you doing from the time that you see me until the next time? Like what are you doing in between then? That's the biggest thing. It's like just like in diet, like what are you doing from the time, you're waking up till you go to sleep? It's what FST is. We're giving them, of course, a modality or a thing to help them with their chronic issues or, emotional release, tension. But this is definitely an avenue for them to learn more about themselves and their body, especially the fascial system. And my other question to follow up is, where do you see fascia stretch therapy evolving in the next coming years? You've been doing this for 6+ years, so tell me, like, where do you see it going?
So like I said, when I started, you couldn't even promote this. No one even knew what it was. It was more like, we don't talk about it, we're just going to send people to you. It's evolved to the conversation of the week or the conversation of the hour. Oh, do you stretch? Do you have a stretch therapist? Do you do yoga? You see it popping up into all of these corporate gyms, Equinox, Lifetime. Lifetime has their whole stretch department. I see more and more of that. I see it more mainstream and everyone doing this, which is great for the industry.
Yeah, I think that's a thing, and I've talked to a couple practitioners as well. Like they're hoping to make this even in the medical field. Like if doctors can prescribe someone to get FST treatment before or after surgery, or even to prevent from getting them painkillers, that's going to be the next level thing. Medical professionals see this as a alternative way, especially with recoveries.
Talking about that in the fascia research. I did a course in Spain this year, and there was someone there that was on the board. I think Chris and Ann go to these research conferences all the time, and they're trying to get that, more normalized and more into the health industry, and the insurance companies approving this, or even giving an allowance towards it.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're doing it for gyms. They're reimbursing you for gyms now, a lot of insurance companies. So why not recovery?
Yeah. As far as your business, where do you see it going in the next 5-10 years? I mean, I know you just opened up your own spot now, but do you plan to offer more services, hire new people? What is it? I know you have a program that you have out, correct?
Yeah. Yes. So, my thoughts have always been just to grow as far as like within, hire someone, then hire another person and have like a team. And I also do in-home services, and I do a lot of concierge services where I go to in-homes and I'll be like with 3 or 4 people in a row. And if I could continue to build on that, like a mobile service and a brick and mortar, and having multiple brick and mortars while the mobile services is still going on. So just continuing to build and get really good quality people involved in working with me that have a passion for this and want to help people.
And then I know you came out with a program, is that correct? Or was it a program or an app? Or I know did you come out with a new like a program of your own or a workout? I don't know if it was you or someone like I was talking to or I've seen, but
I don't know if I have the Stroga class that I created with so maybe that was it.
Yeah, probably. Like what is this Stroga thing? Like can you explain to people what
So it's a combination of strength, yoga, mobility, and a little bit of like Pilates and stabilization moves. I just incorporate everything I've learned over the years, all the certifications I've taken, and just put together a class that helps address the fascia release by using the foam rollers or the myofascial balls and giving yourself some movement and space, and then going into movement and then going into a little bit of stabilization moves. So each class is different. Eventually I would like it to be like a 10-week program, like you said. Maybe I did talk to you about that, where you sign up and it's almost like a body transformation program, but this is more of like your recovery transformation program. But you have to, it's hard because people have to get consistent and come every week, and then from there build upon that, which I have had over the past couple of weeks. People have it more regular, so it's good. There's just so many other classes out there that you're competing with, but my clients are very loyal, and I'm hoping to grow that as well.
I guess as far as growing your business, how did you grow your business from the inception to the way it is currently?
So I started just doing this on the side. I worked in corporate gyms. I worked at UFC and Lifetime. And after I'd be done at work, people would ask, oh, I don't belong to that gym. Can you come to me at my house? And I kind of just same thing, word of mouth. Okay, why not? I'm going to make an extra couple of $100 on the weekends. And I think it just started like that, almost like driving around with my table, either my table or my equipment, whether I was training or stretching, popping into someone's house and doing it from there. And then I met a friend at the gym. I was training her, and she's like, why don't you open an LLC? And even if you stay at Lifetime, it could offset your income and it would just be amazing. You'd have write-offs. And I was like, all right, why don't I do that? So I did that. I came up with a name. It was a different logo actually at the time. Her and her team, she was in marketing, and she made a really nice logo. But in 2022, I decided to rebrand, and I came up with this, which I love. But I did that, and then COVID happened. And then from there, I was like, wait, I could just take this, just run with this. I did. And I had support from friends and family, and I hired an agency, and we came up with a plan, a social media plan, a business plan. And, you just you kind of like, you just navigate, you figure out, okay, this is working, this isn't. This, you have to drop this, you have to pick up this, and nothing's perfect. But I think every day it's a learning experience. And every day I have a different idea. So I'm like, I can't do everything. But yeah, it's been a journey. We're going to continue to grow from here. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think it's great to even like meet people like you that are doing this and putting out the awareness.
Yeah, that's my main goal, is to, create fascia stretch therapy, a more of an open topic, like you said, for people to understand like what we're doing. It's something that's very important for anyone, whether if you're an athlete, whether if you're like an everyday, weekend warrior. It's important. Recovery is what keeps you going to doing the things that you love to do outside of work or with your family. So it's a big thing. It's a big, big thing for me doing this podcast. More people are learning from people like you.
Yeah, it's great.
My last question for you is, what marketing or sales strategies have you found most effective in attracting new clients?
So, yeah, I've tried like almost everything. I've spent marketing money. I've spent money on hiring business coaches, multiple. I still say referrals and word of mouth has been my best marketing strategy, and my pop-ups, in-person events. I show up to and meet people. I love social media. I probably could be better and more, like I could be on it more often and post a little more, but I'm working, so it's hard to do that. But I think people still want to see you. Yeah. And they still want to experience and have that in-person experience and that feel. Versus I love social media. Like I've done online programs, but I still like the in-person one-on-one interaction. I feel like we can never get away from that.
No, that's what makes our, what we do like so more impactful than like an online coach, is like, you've helped someone that day and you can continue to, because that physical interaction right there on the table, you can see immediate results. With online coaching, I mean, it's, yes, you can cast a wider net of people to help, but like, I don't know, maybe it's just how innate we are as humans. Like we need that connection, and so
And just showing what you do, like even if it's not like an official post, posting stories have been great for me too.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh yeah, like I'm at yoga today, or I'm going to teach my yoga class, or I'm away in a beautiful, yoga retreat in Bali. Like people are like, wow, what is she doing? What is she up to? And showing someone that you're actually real and you're human and you can connect with them that way has been a really great resource for me as well.
Awesome. Well, definitely for those who are wanting to learn more about how Chris and I have got, certification, like we mentioned, stretchthewin.com to find a practitioner, to enroll to be a practitioner, where Chris and Ann Frederick have, put so many countless hours, 30 years plus of doing this. It's hands down the best return on investment by far, I felt like, the course. And yep, if you're in Canada, if you're in America, those are 2 locations right now, or Australia for level 2. But yeah, please do go. And of course, Carisa, we'd love to have the audience find out how people can follow you and learn more about what you're doing. So please share your social media handle, a website, email, phone, or the physical location so they can book a session with you.
I think I sent you everything. I don't know if you got.
Yes, I think I did.
My website is thebodyologist.com. So you can go there, you can book a session. If you're in the New York area on Long Island, I'm in Mineola. My email is carissa@thebodyologist.com. And then my social media handle is thebodyologist_New York. And then I think that's fine. I mean, my email is on there and my phone number is on my website as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for hopping onto my podcast.
Yeah.
Definitely got to learn more about you and what you're doing out there.
Appreciate you having me. Have you had Chris and Ann on here yet?
Yeah, I have someone coming on that can help me get there. So once I get Jenna Schroeder on, that's the goal. Is she wants me to be on the podcast so she can understand what I'm doing, and then hopefully that opens the door. I think that'll be awesome. Yeah.
Amazing. I know. I want to go to level 4. I'm going to wait till November, I think. Me and Anthony are going to see how the March one is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're excited. But thank you so much. This was great.
No problem.
So great to talk about what you do.
Yes, thank you. It's just the beginning. Like I said, this is my 2nd season of doing this. Hopefully this year will be different. I can bring in different people who are not just FSC practitioners, but people who are actually working with fascia. I want to kind of incorporate that too into this podcast. So we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I might have some ideas for you. I'll send it to you because I have some people I met in Spain that were amazing as well. Okay. They did all myofascial release courses.
Cool. Yeah. Please send them. Refer them to me.
Great. Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.